What's up, everybody? It's Sean.
This is Alan.
And this is Inside the Square, the wrestling podcast, coming at you every Saturday from sunny St. Mary's, California, Maryland. What's good, Big Daddy?
WrestleMania Backlash.
It's coming soon, but before we get to that, let's talk about WrestleMania. What was your overall impression of WrestleMania?
It was way better than last year.
You know what? We talked about this. Like I always point out, Alan and I talk about wrestling almost every day. I think it was better than last year's, too.
Yeah.
One of my friends online, he's an avid wrestling fan too. He said that night 2 was a lot better than night 1, had more moments.
Yeah.
It was interesting, man. I think the night 2 match with Cody and Roman was really emotional. It was good. I didn't like the outcome.
Nah.
I didn't like the outcome at all. I think it was a little too many things going on.
Like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn interfering?
Yeah, the Usos interfering, Sikoa interfering from the beginning.
In the last minute.
He interfered in the beginning, and then he got thrown out, and then he interfered in the last minute.
Yeah.
With that Samoan spike.
I don't know whose idea for the finish was. Like, I think it was Vince McMahon that scripted the finish. I already know.
I've heard rumors, and I've seen rumors online about that.
Like, he screwed Cody Rhodes over. I mean, he was about to win.
Well, for those who don't know, Vince had a long-running feud with Dusty Rhodes, Cody's
the longest feud ever.
He didn't like him, put him in say he didn't have ideal wrestling physique, say he wasn't a good wrestler, basically. And Dusty Rhodes was one of the greatest wrestlers of all time.
He was amazing.
He's the dude Ric Flair tried to be like. Yeah. Ric Flair emulated Dusty Rhodes, not the other way around.
Yeah.
Dusty Rhodes, a full disclaimer, he's one of my all-time greatest wrestlers.
He was really good.
He was one of my favorite wrestlers too. Yeah. It's just and by proxy, his son is one of my favorite wrestlers now.
Yeah.
And I've always liked his boys. Cody and Dustin, really good wrestlers.
They're amazing.
They're amazing. But I really didn't like the outcome of WrestleMania, that match.
But that match was pretty good.
It was really good. It was really good.
It was very competitive.
Reigns is a good seller.
Yeah.
Good seller, good talker. I liked his post match press conference. It was really funny. He said, "Why y'all quiet now?" He's very, very funny and very antagonistic.
Yeah.
So he's good. I like the way he does stuff. Very hilarious. Now he's bigger than life. Some of the stuff that happened after was kind of overshadowed by the UFC WWE merger.
Yeah.
Endeavor is what they call it.
I
Endeavor
saw
group.
It coming.
Well, it's been publicized that he had been trying to sell. Vince McMahon has been trying to sell WWE for a long time.
Like, I think, when did this happen?
This just happened a week or so ago.
Yeah.
He had that crazy press conference with him looking like a supervillain with a mustache, looking crazy, up on the podium, just talking reckless. It's interesting. Once they ousted him, he started trying to, once they ousted him as CEO, he's like, you know what, I'm going to take my ball and go home. Then I'm going to go sell my ball and still be in charge of my ball.
Wow. Because
he still owned the majority shares, 38% of the company. And he sold it, I think, it evaluated for like $9 billion or something.
That's a lot.
That's crazy money. And they appointed him CEO of the property that the board just voted to kick him off of.
Wow.
So, the power of capitalism. I won't get into semantics and politics on this, but
nope. Let's not get into that.
No, we won't. But it's just a bad look. Vince has multiple sexual harassment, sexual assault things going on. I don't know about the sexual assault thing. Let me back that up because I don't have a qualifier. But he does have a lot of sexual harassment suits.
That was from last year.
Yeah, and that's why he was ousted as chairman.
Yeah.
So it's interesting now that Endeavor would still make him CEO of that, of that subsidiary that's under them now. So it's just I don't know. We'll see what direction it goes. And now they're about to make it legal to bet on wrestling, which is crazy because it's a scripted event.
It is very scripted.
Very scripted event. So it's a lot to unpackage in that. That's some legality and business stuff that we won't go into right now.
Nope.
But it's just really weird story. Hopefully they keep the WWE brand intact as it is. And I also wonder how this affects their TV contract with Peacock.
That's going to get rough.
Yeah, because, WWE acquired all the territories, footage, and they all under the same umbrella under Peacock. You can watch just about anything from the territories from, 20, 30 years ago.
I don't know about the main roster. I don't know about them.
Yeah. Which leads me into, Brock Lesnar destroying Cody Rhodes.
Oh, my gosh. Cody did not deserve that. He did not deserve that.
He did not deserve that beatdown. He got his ass beat down.
Yeah. Like, Roman saw it. I thought he was going to help him.
I don't know, man. It was scripted, but it was just very unnecessarily brutal.
Yeah. Cody did not deserve that.
With the chair shots on the metal walk up thing. It was just
almost like Edge or something. He does that.
I don't know. It was just kind of like unnecessarily brutal.
Yeah.
And I was just like watching it. And I'm like, what in the hell going on?
Like Sikoa and Roman Reigns got out of there.
Well, my point is, it kind of shows you who's back in charge. And I think, and Vince came out and said, well, I'm not in charge of the very small details anymore, but, I'm more in charge of the big picture, which means he's going to be in charge of all of who gets named champion, who doesn't.
Yeah, he's going to keep Roman as champ for how long? I don't know how long.
And that leads me to another thing. Is Roman Reigns going to be forever champ?
Not really.
I know in the reality of it, no, he won't be forever champ, but it gets so monotonous.
Yeah, it does.
Dude's been champ on almost 1,000 days?
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's insane. That's not how championship's supposed to work.
No. Triple H needs to find a situation about that.
Well, that's the thing now. I don't think Triple H is the dude that's really running the show anymore. I think the way I'm looking at it, I think Vince is saying, hey, this is what I want. I don't care how you get to this solution. Just get to it.
Yeah.
And that's what he's doing. And I don't know if I could work like that, man.
Me neither. I'm tired of Roman Reigns.
It's hard to watch.
Yeah, it is.
It's hard to watch. I'm glad they took the tag team champions off the Usos and put them on Owens and Zayn.
Was that a good idea?
I think it was a great idea.
Yeah. It was Triple H's idea.
But I think they need to split up those tag team belts again.
Maybe let Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens hold the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, and Judgment Day holds the Raw Tag Team Championships.
I think they need to vacate one of them and have a tournament.
Yeah. Who would win that?
It's no telling. Probably Judgment Day.
Judgment Day?
Probably. I would let Judgment Day win.
Damian Priest deserves a push.
I don't think he's going to ever get a solo push.
He might.
You're right. Know. He might. Anything's possible. But
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to get a solo push in this environment.
Nah. What about a tag team push?
I think he and Finn Balor would be really good tag team champions.
What about with Dominic?
That's interesting too.
Yeah.
Dominic is turned to the top heel.
Yeah, that's amazing.
In that group, he's the top heel.
Yeah.
I didn't like his promo in WrestleMania, but I see where they're trying to go with it.
Yeah, but almost like the next Eddie Guerrero or something.
Eddie Guerrero is a better wrestler than him.
Yeah.
let's not compare him to Eddie Guerrero because he is not Eddie Guerrero's equal when it comes to in-ring performance.
That was his uncle.
No, it wasn't.
What?
Eddie wasn't his uncle.
Oh. Eddie Guerrero was the nephew of Dominic Mysterio.
No. They weren't related.
What?
Eddie was Chavo's uncle.
Dang.
It's a running joke that Eddie Guerrero is Dominic's father. Running joke.
Just a running joke,
Running
people.
joke. I don't think it's funny, but, it's a joke. I don't think, like I said, even though Dominic's is a really good wrestler now and top heel, he's not Eddie Guerrero level top heel.
No.
Eddie Guerrero is just a wild dude.
How did you like his heel turn last year?
Dominic's heel turn? I thought it was really well done. I think
you did not see it coming.
I did. I told you he's going to turn into
I
dad.
saw it coming. I
told you. You can go back on our podcast and listen. Last year I said this. I said they are building up to a match between Dominic and Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania. And they did. You can see it coming.
Like, this is the longest feud ever.
Not really. Rey Mysterio feuded with Chavo for a while. He feuded with Eddie for a long time. He's had a lot of feuds. He had a long feud with Edge. He's had feuds with some of everybody, man. I mean,
even Randy Orton.
Yeah, he's had feuds with a lot of different. I mean, Rey Mysterio's been a constant on TV for 20-some years.
And Chris Jericho, too.
I always thought he was a better wrestler than Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
But that's just, that's a conversation for another time.
Yeah.
One of the other big things that came out of WrestleMania weekend was Indi Hartwell. She became the NXT Women's Champ.
That was quick.
It wasn't quick. She's been at it for a couple of years, man.
Really
in
NXT. Long time, yeah.
Not a long time, but she's been in NXT for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And she went from, a tag team side assessment to the NXT Women's Champion.
Top of the mountain.
I don't want to say top of the mountain, but it's damn near there in that brand she is.
Yeah.
But I think it's well deserved. She's been it's funny because she was comedy relief with Dexter Lumis for a while, and then she was part of Dakota Kai's team, and now she's champ. It just shows you what perseverance can do. I liked Roxanne Perez.
Yeah, but it was just time.
It was just time. I think Indi Hartwell deserves a good shot. She's like I said, she's been plugging away, and she puts on good matches, and she's really physically dominant in the matches that she is in.
And she's very tall.
Well, that's one thing, but she's a really good athlete.
Yeah,
she doesn't get gassed. She doesn't have botches, and she's very competent in the ring on the mat. She's a good wrestler.
She's an amazing wrestler. So
I think well earned, not deserved and earned. So shout out to Indi Hartwell. I really like her. I hope that they have her have a good run with some memorable matches and memorable opponents.
But, who's going to be the next opponent for her?
What's that new girl's name? You like her. You talked about her this morning.
Like Tiffany Stratton?
Tiffany Stratton. That'll probably be her boss opponent for whatever the next pay-per-view is.
Or a triple threat match. It usually favors the champ.
Yeah, triple threat always favors the champ the way it works.
Yeah.
But I think that it's going to be probably Tiffany Stratton. Or what's the other lady's name?
Huh?
She's blonde.
Nikita Lyons?
Yes, if she ever comes back from injury.
Yeah.
Because Nikita Lyons is super popular.
I thought Zoe Stark was going to win.
I don't know, man. I don't know if she's ever going to be champ.
Maybe in 2024.
She might not be in NXT that long.
She might go to the main roster.
I don't know. Main roster has a lot of talented women.
Too much talent.
There's never such thing as too much talent, but the women's roster is way better talent-wise than the men's roster.
What about SmackDown's roster?
The women on SmackDown have a more talented roster than the men.
Yeah.
I would like to, the women's matches I really looked forward to. The Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair match at WrestleMania, top notch.
It was really good.
Top notch.
Charlotte Flair did really good.
That was probably the match of the night.
Like, their last match was, 2021 or something.
And just like the Asuka Bianca Belair match, really good match.
Really good match. I thought Asuka was going to win.
It had everything in it. It had, drama. It didn't have a lot of botches either. It had a lot of athleticism.
No.
A lot of high-flying stuff. It was really good.
How did you like the Gunther and Drew McIntyre and Sheamus match?
Really good. Top-notch. Hard-hitting.
So good. With no interference. Just a straight-up wrestling match.
Yeah. Now, we're going to switch gears a little bit and go to AEW. Orange Cassidy. Do you think he should jump ship?
I think he should.
You think he should go to WWE?
Yeah.
Why?
Because his character, they might change his character, but he might have the same gimmick in AEW.
I think WWE would definitely change his gimmick.
Yeah.
And I think Tony Khan would really like to keep him.
For a long time.
I mean, he just signed Jay White.
Signed Jay White.
He just signed him.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Last week.
Yeah.
I thought once Jay White's New Japan Pro
Wrestling career was over.
Yeah, I thought WWE was going to sign him, and then no
They
reports.
didn't.
They didn't sign
Nope.
him. And so now he's AEW, rolling with AEW.
Like, is he going to be MJF for the AEW championship?
I don't think so. Not right now.
Maybe in 2024.
I don't think MJF's going to keep that belt that long.
Wow.
I
Like how long he's been champion for?
He's been champ for a while.
Long time.
But I think that Jay White would have to build his brand up. In
As
AEW.
like Bullet Club?
Well, a lot of people don't know him.
No.
A lot of wrestling fans know him, but the general populace does not know who he is.
Yeah, that's tough.
It's tough, but I think he has the fandom to do it.
The fan base.
He does. He has a huge fan base.
Yeah.
But he's not as well known as some of these other wrestlers.
Like Kenta.
I think he's way more well known than Kenta.
Yeah.
But my point is, he has to not necessarily work his way to the top, because he's probably going to start at the top.
Yeah.
But he's going to definitely have to put some work in.
Yeah, put people over.
I don't know about putting people over, but I think he's going to have to build his U.S. fan base a little bit harder.
Yeah.
What do you think about Kushida over in Impact? Kushida versus Steve Maclin.
I got Steve Maclin.
I think Steve Maclin is going to be champ as well. For those who don't know, Josh Alexander just vacated his Impact World Championship.
Yeah, that was so hard to vacate.
It was sad.
It was so bad.
They had his son in the ring and his wife.
Like, he didn't want him to vacate that title.
It was very choreographed, but it was really sad. I was like, man, that's kind of messed up.
Very messed up.
He had his boy in there and his wife, and crying, and
she
crying.
Like, he didn't want him to vacate that title.
Yeah, I think Steve Maclin is going to probably be
champion for maybe like 5 to 6 months.
I think he's going to be champion at least till through the summer. They got to get somebody in there to keep him afloat through the summer to keep the attention.
Yeah, maybe go against Moose or.
And see, that's the thing. I don't understand why they just won't let Moose win the belt.
Win the belt again.
Yeah, because he's been the face of the company before.
Long time.
So with them saying, oh, it should be Steve Maclin or Kushida,
that's messed up.
No, it's not messed up. It just don't make sense because they're not they're not like big stars like that dude is.
No.
Not saying that he's a huge megastar, but he's been champ
multiple times.
And you don't just say, hey, this guy's going to be champ one day, and say, he's not. He's going to fill the arena up. He's going to do this. He's going to sell merch. I don't know if they do that.
Like, who sells more merch?
We don't know. Let's put it on the floor like real quick. We don't know who sells more merch, but we know who's been champion before, and we know who's headline main events for that company, and that's been Moose.
What do you think about Trey Miguel?
Maybe X Division, but not the Impact World Champion.
Yeah,
I always think when I look at the World Championship, I always think of popularity, wrestling ability, and the ability to attract, attract fans who are not necessarily diehard wrestling fans.
Like Josh Alexander, like the people really liked him.
Well, Josh Alexander had been with the company for a long time.
Yeah.
And he's a real wrestler.
He worked his way up.
And he worked his way up with that company without jumping ship.
Nope. He was the longest reigning Impact champion in history.
And if you look at the history of that championship, a lot of great wrestlers have held that belt.
Like Samoa Joe, Kurt Angle, Jeff Hardy,
Drew Galloway,
Matt Hardy.
It's a lot more than that. Jeff Jarrett.
And EC3.
Jeff Jarrett held that belt a bunch of times.
Yeah, like
Bobby
5
Lashley.
times.
Bobby Lashley's been that champ
4 times.
And when you think of the history of that belt, it goes back 20-some years, and it's not like...
It's not the same. It's different.
And if you say, oh, Steve Maclin's your champ, okay, man, you turn it into NWA.
Like, that makes no sense.
It makes... I think Maclin is going to win because, he's been with the company for a couple of years. He's, been on the indie circuit forever, and he's a really good wrestler.
He built his way up this year.
Yeah, he had to, once he lost that Forgotten Sons gimmick stuff.
Yeah.
after he got, once he left the company, he's been really good.
Really good.
He's
in the indie circuit.
In the indie circuit, he's really good. And I don't want to say that he's not, but I don't know if I would make him my company's champion.
What do you think about Matt Cardona?
I would make Matt Cardona my champ in a heartbeat.
Like against Tyrus?
Yeah, but I don't know if they're going to do that.
I think they're going to do that someday.
It makes sense to do it, but Tyrus has a bigger fan base.
But you know who was a really good champion? Nick Aldis.
And that's NWA. Allen kind of switched up the game a little quickly. But Tyrus is the NWA heavyweight champion. We've talked about him before. I think his fan base is a little bit bigger than Matt Cardona because he has a platform on Fox News.
Yeah.
And the dude has fans.
He shows up every day.
I wouldn't go that far. But he has a bigger fan base than most other mid-major wrestlers.
Yeah.
Because he does take that belt everywhere he goes.
What about Trevor Murdoch?
Trevor Murdoch did too, but he didn't have the fan base that Tyrus does.
Yeah.
And when I say Tyrus has a fan base, the dude is, he's on some of these crazy, I'm not a Fox News guy, so let's get that out the way up front. But he takes that belt everywhere he goes.
Everywhere.
And it's very telling, it's a lot of placement stuff. People see the placement, they see that belt, they get curious about NWA.
Yeah.
And so Billy Corgan, the owner, are you going to keep it on your lead dog or not? I'll keep it on my lead dog. So that's why I don't think Matt Cardona's going to win that belt.
Yeah.
One last thing I want to talk about today was LA Knight.
LA Knight's going to push no matter what it takes.
That dude's a really good wrestler, man.
I want to see him win Money in the Bank.
I'd like to see him win Money in the Bank too.
Maybe cash it in, like maybe one of the titles or something, maybe.
And, he's so good, man.
So good on the mic.
Good on the mic, good in ring. And it's just like...
They don't give him the credit.
They don't give him the push. Not necessarily the credit. I don't think he ever should have been at NXT.
He was too good in NXT.
We've said this a few times before, but I think he really should have been put on the main roster initially.
Yes.
And I think they really need to give him a push now.
Yes. Maybe for the WWE Championship.
I think he needs to win one of the mid-card belts first.
Maybe the Intercontinental Championship. Maybe from Gunther.
Maybe. Or the U.S. Championship from
Austin Theory.
I think he's really good.
Yeah. A lot of people have been knowing Austin Theory for a long time.
I'm not talking about Austin Theory. I don't like Austin Theory very much. I don't like his heel gimmick. He's kind of like a tiny wrestler.
He's almost like the Miz or something.
Yeah, I think Chad Gable's is a better wrestler than him. I think Chad Gable's a better talker than him.
Yeah, but they just don't give him the push.
I think if given an opportunity, Chad Gables could do a lot. But getting back on track with Eli Drake / LA Knight, I think LA Knight should get a shot at one of those mid card belts.
Yeah,
I think he'd be really good for the company.
Yeah,
in one of those spots,
it would work for his fan base.
Yeah, the dude has a really good fan base. He's been wrestling like 20 years.
That's a long time.
That's a long time. And he's not new to this. He knows how to hold a belt. He knows how to get a crazy interviews, get a crazy promos, how to keep heat with people backstage. Simulate that heat. I think they're missing out on an opportunity if they don't promote him.
Yeah, that's tough.
That's tough. Well, that's it for me, folks. Until next time, see you on the road.
Bye.